This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports. You're listening to the Captain Jack Sports Show on Northeast Streaming Sports.
All right, everybody, how are you doing? It's a Thursday night, the night that we all gather around because you don't know jack about sports until you watch this show. Because, as y'all know, I'm Captain Jack, so you got to learn my point of view. I am literally watching the fake Pirates, the local team. Let me scratch my nose again. See, you get this. It's a little. What is it? Not blatant. The fake Pirates are beating the former Cleveland Browns, who went over to Baltimore to become the Ravens. Not to be confused with the new Cleveland Browns, because that's another horse entirely. It is my pleasure to bring in a guest. And why not have entertainment while we're having entertainment? And I had a chance to, and I can't remember exactly. I think it was in LinkedIn, and I'll get Kevin to tell me exactly where it is. But I saw a book, and the key words were football and espionage. Okay. So, I mean, being a sports guy, that just really intrigued me, because what Kevin and I share in common is that we're both military, and that we both worked for military intelligence. Not letting the cat out of the bag there. I'm going to learn a little bit more about that, but I'm going to bring in our guest to the show, my shipmate, even though he's an Army pogue, they say, there are some cool Army pogues. That's kind of like a derogatory term, like what is it? There's a lot of derogatory terms for sailors, squids, So he can call me Chief Squid. Okay, because
Chief squid, right?
Again, because I do have the anchor. Okay, but I always says I'm not a squid. I'm a chief. I'm the guy that usually has to take the squids that are down and out, that are, can't handle alcohol, can't handle rejection, can't handle a lot of different things. You take those kids up, and the chief has to take care of them. So, again, my best to Kevin Bryant, the author of, and I even want to get the name of the book right, because it's like it said it's espionage and football. I think it's Spies on the Sidelines. Did I get that right?
That is correct. Spies on the Sidelines, the high stakes world of NFL espionage.
Okay, well, a little bit of background, Kevin. Tell us a little. I gave the big secret away. Your Army intel, and I saw you said you also were an agent. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and all those things, so people get to know you, so they can understand, where you're coming from as well in this book.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Captain Jack. Appreciate it. Always love some good-natured Army-Navy rivalry. My dad's a former Navy officer, so we go at it all the time.
Yeah. You tell Dad you were hanging out with the chief tonight then.
That's right. So yeah, I've spent the last 22, 23 years collecting and protecting information for the Department of Defense. Spent 13 of those years as a special agent. And I've used my GI Bill to get a master's degree in sports management, and then a second one in intelligence studies. So I, combined all of that to, all that background with my interest in football to, bring you this book.
Well, you can't get better than an intel guy looking at the idiosyncrasies of things that we see every day. I mean, for those that that think that that Spygate was overblown, okay, or that there are other things, and again, that's probably the one that most people know about. But there has always been a bit of espionage in sports. I mean, I'm not gonna, because we're up on the World Series, and I would say that the one that also comes to mind most recently in sports was like basically what is it, trash can gate. Everything's a gate, by the way. But you had the banging of the trash cans giving the signals for the Astros to know what the pitch what was coming from, because they had somebody out in the outfield that was stealing the signs. Now, granted, sign stealing in baseball has been around for just as long as baseball's been around, but there's always been a matter of, if you know what the other team is going to do, it helps you to defeat them. And I even come back to like a game where the Raiders were playing the Colts years ago. Peyton Manning was still their quarterback, and Greg Beekert was our middle linebacker. And I don't know if he was just very adept in his film study that week, but he knew what plays the Colts were going to be calling. And the Raiders were down early in the game, but after Beekert figured out what the signals were, he had everybody in a position to take off those plays and whatnot. So the Raiders came back and won that game because of proper intelligence. Okay. Yeah. And again, we talk about, Spygate, you got the people, and I know that other people saying, well, wasn't Josh McDaniels involved in that as well? When he was still with yeah, kind of, sort of, but when he was with Denver and he got fired for it because he said he didn't know about it, or when he did know about it, he didn't tell the NFL fast enough, and that's why he got fired. So it's always been around. But I'm not gonna babble on. I'm gonna let Kevin talk about your greatest aspects, the things that you have found most interesting in your book, and then obviously we're going to go on. And by the way, we got to have a baseline. Should I ask you who your favorite team is before or after we grill you?
No, let's wait till everybody orders the book, and then ask me that question. Yeah,
I was thinking, it's like, bring them in, get the hook in there,
right,
and then disappoint them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Kevin, the floor is yours, partner. Go ahead. all of the great things that you learned, and you said you're interested in it. The floor is yours, shipmate.
Yeah, well, great. Thank you. Well, if you don't mind, I'll just read you a passage of the book. And I think this will give the audience just kind of a general idea of, the type of information that's in here and what it's all about. So, behind the game day action of the NFL is a world much like the cloak and dagger realm of American intelligence agencies. The NFL has its own history, filled with espionage-related stories that sound like something right out of the Cold War. Spies disguised as reporters, military officers, and priests, and even a dwarf playing the role of a baby being pushed in a stroller. Covert surveillance of targets' movements, hiding draft prospects by shuffling them in and out of hotels in aliases. Tap telephones, signals interception, decoy signals, encryption, code breaking, and radio frequency jamming. False flag operations, monitoring air traffic and airline passengers, spies scaling rooftops and telephone poles, and clandestine photography undertaken from high-rise hotels with long-lensed cameras. Peepholes, secret listening devices, surveillance photos relayed by zipline, and whispered conversations masked by running water. Stolen documents and trash cans sifted for secrets. Subversion of individuals mired in debt, and a hilltop secured by Navy SEALs. So that's just a little bit of tease of what all's in the book, all that type of material. Really what I go through in the book. We talked about all things, Spygate, and then with McDaniels moving on to the Broncos and getting caught. He brought a videographer with him who was caught recording a 49ers walkthrough practice for the Broncos. And it was really those two events that got me really wondering how much spying goes on in the NFL. And I think if you remember, you're probably the same way as me, Captain Jack. After Spygate in particular, I was really wondering how much of this stuff goes on in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody was glued to the internet, researching this, trying to see, hey, more about Spygate, but also what else has happened in the past. And it was really difficult to come up with all of those answers. And I read, a bunch of, talking heads on the radio and on TV are talking about it. People are writing about it on various websites. And honestly, I didn't really get nobody had a great answer. And I was like, you know what? I want to look into this. And so I started doing the research on the internet. And man, found there's a bunch of great stories out there, but they're all spread to the four winds. And so, I took a look at that. I wanted to read more on the subject. So I hopped on Amazon, tried to find a book. Well, there's nothing but Spygate by Brian O'Leary. One book that's about the Patriots and only about that one incident. And I said, man, really nothing more? I've been wanting to write a book for a long time. And so I said, you know what? This is my chance. This is my opportunity, given my background, given my expertise, and I had the passion for it because I really wanted to know this. I thought it'd be a really interesting story. And some of the stuff I was finding on the internet was just, it was ridiculous. The stories I've got in my book, whether it's, from material that I found from other writers, from out of other books, or from interviews, it's unbelievable. Some of these stories, it's literally like something out of the Cold War. It's some stuff like out of a James Bond movie. Some of this stuff goes on. The stories are they're so great and at times so ridiculous and over the top. Sometimes it's more Austin Powers than it is James Bond. But
yeah, baby.
Yeah, right. But I love it. It's so interesting. Yeah.
I don't know whether you've ever heard this one. It goes back to the days of like when John Roush was the coach of the Raiders, and he left or he left the next season to go to Buffalo. Mm-hmm. And he was then the coach of the Bills. This was after he coached the Raiders in Super Bowl II. And they were having a game. It was the Bills against the Raiders. And he would look up, or he would be in the locker room, and he would, go up and he went to like the light fixtures. Okay. And he would go like, damn you, Al Davis, I know you're listening. And the story got back to Al Davis, and he said, like, oh man, he's such a kidder. They weren't in the light fixtures,
Right.
So it's like he didn't admit, but he did. He said, because it was always the paranoia of what Al Davis would do. Like you said, if you weren't cheating, you weren't trying hard enough to win. Okay.
Mhm.
Obviously you didn't want to get caught. And the thing is about you employ all your assets in order to get that advantage over the other person. You just don't want to be caught doing it, because then the implications are, what have you been doing all this time? Because before Spygate with the Patriots, which McDaniels had brought over, and McDaniels contests that his videographer, and by the way, I figured out who your favorite team is, just by your intro. McDaniels brought over the videographer, and then he said that the videographer did it on his own. Could be, possibly, maybe. He just covered for him, and that was his crime, because they did get caught for it. But because he was kind of, he put his boy under his wing and didn't say anything, that was his crime. Now, I know Sharif's already said that he was 100% complicit. Did Mike Evans give out an autograph to the officials this weekend? Who knows? Because nobody has, ears, or they don't know what the conversation was. So there's always a story you can tell. And as long as you can, just go through it, and as long as they don't catch you, then it's okay. So it's one of those things. So it was like, and Ray Kelly, good to see you in here as well. I want to thank everybody. Tito's in here. Bishop, who is a former Navy SEAL, he's also a shipmate of mine. He says, how does an Army soldier get a Purple Heart? By peeling potatoes. So, that's another little dig there. But again, I caught you, I'm sorry, I cut you off. So you had your thread, and you started pulling in it, and you were getting all of these other stories, one and the other, because I want you to give us some juice, but I don't want you to give us everything, because then we're not going to buy your book, and I want to buy your book. Okay. And we all want to get this book, because it sounds like a great read.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So what I will say, for Raiders Nation out there, is that Al Davis, and you mentioned it, and that story that you just spoke about with the listening device up in the ceiling and the coach yelling at it, damn you, Al Davis, I know you're up there. That's in the book. I've got a whole chapter on the threat of listening devices. And
I didn't read it yet, but I knew that if you know it and I know it, then it should be in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Al Davis was obviously he's one of the great coaches of all time in the NFL and the AFL both. And he's got so many stories, because he was one of those coaches that was willing to push the limits. Obviously, just win, baby, was one of his phrases that he used repeatedly. Another one was whatever it takes, which is the theme of my book. And he's there with a couple handful of coaches that were willing to cross over that line of what is, often fair and permissible. He was willing to occasionally exceed some of the rules and bylaws to be able to try to give just a bit, right? To give his team an advantage. And, but a lot of the great coaches, a lot of the coaches that built dynasties were willing to do this. And I'll give you some examples. George Halas from the Bears, Sid Gilman from the Chargers, Weeb Eubank from the Jets and the Colts. Obviously we've got Al Davis today. And, Al Davis, and then Bill Belichick today. George Allen with the Rams.
Surprise, Bill Belichick? Oh my God.
It's shocking. I know.
You're telling me the hoodie? No.
Right. But so, Al Davis was just one of many that were, doing here. And I will say this, coaches, there have been coaches that went well beyond much more, beyond things that Al Davis was willing to do. I've got a story in here in the book of Weeb Eubank actually being a spy inside of his own team, passing information to another. Right? I mean, what we consider a mole inside, inside of an organization. That has gone on in the NFL. And I've got more stories beyond that of how this, of that taking place. So it's pretty incredible, all the things that have gone on. But Al Davis, man, yeah, I mean, he's got so many great stories in here, and I'll give you one.
Just one, because again, people need to buy your book. They want to be entertained, but they got to buy it. And while you're doing that, I'm going to make sure that I put the title and your name so on the thread so people can look at it and look for Spies on the Sideline by Kevin Bryant. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So when Al Davis works on Sid Gilman's staff as an assistant with the Chargers, he went in, I believe it was into the Denver locker room after a game. And he went up to he pretended to be a reporter. And he went up to a player and said, "Hey, can you tell me what is the toughest play for you to defend against?" And the player went, "Oh, hey, it's this play right here." And he started diagramming it on a board for Al Davis. And he was like, yeah, when the offense does this, it makes it hard for me to, I've got to adjust here. And Al Davis is just jotting everything down. And then one of the coaches comes by, it's like, "Al, get out of here." He recognizes them. But, those are the lengths that Al Davis was willing to go to get an advantage, even as a coach, even as an assistant. And he's got a long history. I personally loved reading the books. I read about 60 books in research to write Spies on the Sidelines. And by far, I got to say, my favorite books, hands down, were the Al Davis books. He was just such a great character. And so I've got a ton of stories in the book about him because, one, yeah, he did a lot of shenanigans. And two, even when he wasn't doing them, like you mentioned, he would never deny it because he wanted to keep that mystique about him, which he played off of so well.
And I tell you that was, like you said, he always got accused of it, like you said. So why not just let it roll so people are naturally paranoid about what's going on? Because if they're paranoid about what you're doing, they're not up to 100% of what they should be doing. Because they're trying to counter what they think is going on. And whether it's being done or not, it takes them off of their game.
Yeah, that's precisely it. And you take a team like the Patriots or, everyone's suspecting Al Davis of everything. You've got to worry about, do we have listening devices in the locker room, right? And Peyton Manning revealed as of last year, he was concerned about that in Foxborough. A number of teams expressed their concerns with that with Al Davis. You've got to worry about, is he debriefing former players of my team to try to learn their information? Are they gaining information via the media? Are they using spies inside of here? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? Are they spying on our practices? Right? All of these things that other teams are worried about when, there's very little free time for any NFL coach. And anytime they've got to worry about all that type of stuff, it takes away their time from game preparation. And there are not enough hours in the week to start with. And so it creates a big advantage for teams that have this mystique about them, whether it's right or whether it's wrong.
Right. And I do want to draw, I said, I got it down here, Spies on the Sideline, author Kevin Bryant. I hope I didn't screw any of that up. Okay.
No, you're good.
Hey, not bad for a Navy chief. Okay. I'll get on that. Lots of time. No, and yeah, Anthony, because Anthony says lots of titles, but I believe he writes a lot of stuff. Because like I was just telling Kevin, it's like, hey, I want to hear about these other books, but no, this is the only book by Kevin Bryant. Well, no. It's his first book because I'm sure he's going to be writing more because this one's going to be a very wonderful success. And having said that, you're a sports guy, you're an intel guy as well, and obviously you wrote this one as well. What are your plans for the future of maybe some projects that you might be looking at to do? Because authors always have what's my next event going to be?
Yeah, I've got a list. So the next book's going to be on the exact same topic, but college football, spying in college football, right? Which is actually, everyone's like, oh, that's kind of the same book. Well, yes and no. There's a lot of differences to the rules of college football. And, for this book, I also go into how teams collect information on the draft, on prospects, and then also on free agents. And so for, college football, obviously it's concerned with recruiting instead, which, talk about a dark, seedy world that, oh my gosh, it makes the NFL look like a bunch of choir boys. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So that's going to be the next one. After that, we'll see. It took me 8 years of, research and writing to crank out this one. The college football book is coming much faster now that I've kind of got a template and I know what I'm doing. And while I was reading all those pro books, all those professional coaches that I was reading about, well, they had a college background as well. So I was busy highlighting all the information out of there just in case I wrote a book on college later. So it's going quicker, but that's going to be the next one.
Well, and you know what? I'm gonna buy 2 of your books, because what I always do is I always buy one book where I get the author to sign it personally, and I don't crack it. That one, the only crack in the binder is having the author open it up, and then I have one that I actually read. And same thing went up for my book with Violator. I have a book that Violator wrote to me where he has his autograph on the top inscribed to me, and then I have another one where I can actually read, because I want to have that nice pristine copy that's just for me, and then I have the one that I can actually read. So I need to do it a little bit more often, because I fly a lot, obviously, and people that are saying, where'd Captain Jack get waylaid this week? Because last week it was in Dallas, but at least they gave me a hotel this time, which was nice. But there's always adventures there, and I'm sleeping a little bit more on the plane because I'm older. Kevin, may I ask, how old are you, sir?
I am 47. Creeping up there.
Yeah. Dude, I got you by 10, and you look 20 years younger than me. So you're 40, but you're an Army 47, which means you're probably a 37 at most.
Army 47. I thought that made me 67.
No, no. That means you're in shape and still doing those Jody calls, making sure you're getting up in the morning. And I'm going to ask, because I want to see if I'm correct. If you were inspired by Josh McDaniels' story, then I'm guessing that you are a Broncos fan.
All right. Now that everybody's clearly bought the book already, yes,
right.
I am a Broncos fan. So, yeah.
That is what you call an indicator. See, us intel guys know these things, because if something's going to inspire you, there's a reason why it inspires you.
Yeah.
So again,
I got to be careful around here. You're an analyst. You put all the pieces together.
Hey, not bad. Not bad. I've only been doing intel for 35, 36 years. So
a couple days. Yeah.
Just a little bit of while. But I said, well, if that was the impetus, then, and I know it wasn't because he was a Pats fan, because it was something about him as the Broncos coach. So, okay, off the subject of the book, and by the way, like I said, Spies on the Sideline, author Kevin Bryant, go out. First off, where do you get the book? On Amazon? Is that the best place to get it? Or is there anything else that we can do because I'll put it in the chat so they can go right to you.
Yeah, so you can get it off of Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. You can order it through the publisher, Rowman & Littlefield, for 25% off as well. If you go on my website, which is spiesonthesidelines.com, and I've got the coupon code up there, and then it's got the link to the publisher's website. The book is out in hardbound copy. I've got an ebook, I've got an audiobook. Amazon has them all. It's out on Audible now as well. I will say that the audiobook is about half the price of the regular hardbound book. So if you're looking to save a few bucks, that's definitely the way to go. But if you're looking for a good, Christmas present for the, NFL fans in your life, obviously you can't beat a good, hardbound book and whatnot too. So, but that's where you go. I've got all my social media, stuff on my website and, lots of information about the book. So.
And by the way, I do want to say I got Richie Riche in here, and he is a Broncos fan. We do the Wild Wild West shows on Wednesday, but he is the nicest Broncos fan because he's Canadian.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, because it's like, and you seem to be a well-kempt Broncos fan, so I'll have to get you together with Richie Riche, because again, he has his MHRT network, which is very Broncos heavy. So Richie, make sure you get with me so you maybe you can get Kevin on to do a spiel with all your Broncos fans, because I want to buy your book because you're an Intel guy and you're awesome and you're here with us. Make sure you're out buying it, Raider Nation, because like Kevin said, there's a lot of Al Davis stories in there. Okay, a lot of Al Davis stories in there. And Richie's hopefully will reach out to you and get you over there to MHRT. So that's that other option where the AFC West will take care of you, partner. Yes, you will take care of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Richie, see right here, Richie, Kevin, I'll be buying the book.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Richie. Thanks a bunch.
That's it. And Richie, I will get you that information to him. And again, Kevin, and I don't want to keep you on too long because again, I don't want to get all of that stuff because I want to be intrigued and enthralled. Okay, so like I said, when I buy, and I'm going to buy two. I'm going to have one that's just for me. That's inscribed, hopefully, and then the other one. And don't say, "Dear Captain Jack, you're a big fat Raiders fan, but you're an okay Navy guy or whatever." Whatever you want to put. That'll be personal, and that'll be the one I keep. But then I'll have the one that I actually read. So, and Richie Riche is going to buy it as well, and we can't wait for it. Any last little tidbits that you want to leave us with, because again, I don't want to soak you up with all the things, because if you tell all the good stories, then nobody's going to buy the book.
Yeah, no, you won't. I mean, the book is literally packed with stories. I mean, that's what I love. So, all right, I'll give you one last small one. Just to go away. All right, one last small one. All right, this is one of my favorite stories. And it's AFC West Central. Okay, we'll bring it over to the Chargers. So just to show that the Patriots are the bad guys now, but even they have been, they've been susceptible to spying efforts of other teams in the past, right? So when Sid Gillman was the coach of the Chargers, they were playing in the AFL championship game against the Patriots in the 60s. And Sid Gillman called up Coach Holovac and said, "Hey, the championship game is going to be here in San Diego. So when you guys come down to practice here, you can actually, I've got everything set up for you. You can practice on a Marine base." Okay. And so Coach Holovac said, "Wonderful. Thank you." And that's what they did. What the Patriots didn't know was that Coach Gillman had a couple of assistants dressed up as Marines on the sidelines to help them with whatever they may need, right? Mm-hmm. And as a result, they watched all the practices that week. They learned everything offensively and defensively that the Patriots were going to do. And as a result, the Chargers absolutely destroyed them. They racked up over 600 yards of offense in the 60s, right? They won the game. I think it was like 51-7. The only time they scored was when the Patriots quarterback, Babe Prilly, drew a play in the dirt that he just made up that had never been used before. And so, it just goes to show, the NFL, it's got a long history. And this stuff has been around for a long, long time. And there's so many, great stories in there. And, glad to see it happen to the Patriots for once.
Yeah, well, but see, they were the Patriots then. Okay, they weren't. They it took Belichick,
Right.
and you can have that one for free if you haven't used it already. It took Belichick to be there to become the Cheatriots. So there's all those things there. I'm really really intrigued. I got spiesonthesideline.com for a discount. Make sure you go there. Go to Amazon. It is Kevin Bryant, Spies on the Sideline. And sir, I thank you very much for being here. Richie Riche will be going there as well. I am intrigued. I want, because again, I don't read a lot because I'm like a Clancy guy. If I'm going to read a book, I'm usually reading like Clancy books, but he doesn't. Well, obviously he's dead. And the other reason why he wasn't writing them for a while was because in the divorce settlement, I don't know if you know this, in a divorce settlement, his wife had the rights to the Jack Ryan series. So so when he got a divorce, he said, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And so he wrote non-Jack Ryan books so that she wouldn't get a dime. So that's why he was thinking. So you know what? Okay, you got that in the divorce clause. Well, guess what? I'm just going to write really good books, but Jack Ryan is not going to be involved. I think it was his way of saying, there you go, you're number one to me. And I didn't say anything. It was just, I was saying that everybody's number one. That's the only thing here. And I didn't. And by the way, we are on Roku. So, because I got to watch my mouth when I'm on Roku. And again, I appreciate you being there. You are my shipmate. You are my brother in arms. You are my intel brother as well. So Kevin, I appreciate you coming in, partner. It was wonderful. And I will get with you. And I said, I'll for all of the good things as well. And we'll get it all squared away. Make sure you are watching getting Spies on the Sideline. Kevin Bryant is the author. Go to Amazon, go to the website. Hell, if you can't find it, and you're a schmuck if you can't find it, because again, then you're not a good intel guy because you're not using Google. Okay, Google is intel for dummies for everybody else. So make sure you get there. And Kevin, I appreciate that. And you're you're on the East Coast like me, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm just out of Atlanta.
Okay. Well, we'll have to get together sometime then. We'll do all of those good things when we can figure out a mutual sporting event that this way will be. Now, are you a Braves fan?
I'm not really a baseball guy.
Okay. Because I was going to say, because if I go up to Atlanta, I'd go to an Atlanta Phillies game. But if you're going to root for the Braves, then I'm not going to.
I'll go to a game with you. Yeah, that'd be fun. I don't mind going to a game. I just don't have the time to, it's hard for me to fit in football games right now with, working a full-time job and doing all the book promotion, trying to fit in, too many sports. It just doesn't work.
You got it.
But yeah. Go to a game sometime. That'd be great.
Sounds good. And if you're around my neck of the woods, because I'm down here in Tampa, where the fake pirates reign,
Right. Right.
Yeah. And for those that are wondering, wow, somebody kicked it was in practice. It was Justin Tucker kicked a 71-yarder in practice. So
wow.
but there's nobody in front of him either, but
it does help. That's still.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Kevin, again, sir, I don't want to take up all your night because I want people to buy it. Thank you for your time. So I only kept you on for half an hour, so you can bill me, on that for as well. But no, I definitely enjoyed your time, sir. And watch the shows. Like I said, I'll get you with Richie Riche. And and I know that being a Broncos fan, you're definitely kindred spirits with Richie Riche, so that'll be good for you as well, sir.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. Well, thanks a bunch for having me on, Captain Jack.
No, thank you, sir. I appreciate you spending Thursday night with us. It's always a good time. But watch the shows and be entertained. Wild Wild West on Wednesdays. My show whenever you want. When you got all that free time that we both don't have.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, I'd love to. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll chirp in with some trash talk from here and every now and again.
Yeah, like I said, that's what makes it a good rivalry as well. Absolutely. Oh, one last thing, and it's not on the book. Your thoughts on where the Broncos are going to go after, like I said, Wilson's injury and all those things, hey, this is now you're in my neck of the woods. Okay.
Yeah.
Putting people not on the spot, but trying to draw some interest. Your thoughts on the Broncos, Wilson, and what they got going on for the rest of the season in your mind, in your estimation?
Hot mess. Right. I don't know. I would say, how do we get a refund? I mean,
you're paying for that for a couple years, dude.
Yeah, obviously Russell Wilson's not looking good. Coach is in over his head. And that happens to lots of first-year head coaches. It's just I don't know. I don't know where you go from here, to be frank. Most of the time, I've got some pretty good ideas on how you fix the club and what you do and et cetera, et cetera. But the bottom line is Denver has so much money invested with Russell Wilson that, no, he does not look like a starting NFL quarterback. But, you're paying him, I don't know how much, $25, $30 million a year. So you obviously can't afford to pay any other big name quarterbacks. I would say Denver's probably best solution going forward. I would play Russell Wilson for the remainder of the year. Once he's healthy, just to discern if, yes, this isn't going to work out. He is past his prime. This isn't going to happen. And then look at drafting a quarterback that is capable of starting and playing, because we don't have the funds. We will not have the funds to take on another big name quarterback. I think that is the only possible way forward, but it is going to handicap the team for the next 4 or 5 years going forward.
Wow. Yeah.
That's my assessment.
Yeah. Welcome to the, Jamarcus, or what I call Jabustus, had that hit for us for like 4 or 5 years. And that was before they figured out that you can't tie all of that money into a first-year player that's going to bust on you. So thank you, NFL, for the Raiders getting really raped by Jabustus Russell, okay, to install the tiers on the first round. So, you could thank us for that. You got Wilson on your own, though. That was yours. That was yours.
Yeah. I think everybody was hopeful with the new coach, new scenario, better offensive line, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not looking good. It looks like a lot of Seattle's problems in the past were Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Richie says $48 million for at least the next 3 years.
Yeah.
There you go. And I'm not even Catholic or, just, go well, my son. Go well, my son.
$48 million a year. All right. Yeah. Well,
I brought you down. I apologize. But again, Spies on the Sideline, Kevin Bryant, go get that book. Kevin, thanks again for spending some time with us, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Got it. Take care, shipmate.
Thank you. You too.
All right. That's Kevin Bryant. Go and get that book. And that was wonderful. Like I said, why not have an entertaining person on the show when you're talking sports and, intrigue and spying and double crossing and, all those good things that you do. That's a great way to start a Thursday night. So that's why I make sure that you got that, from Kevin Bryant. It was great to have him on there as well. What do you expect? Anything Walmart sells is trash. Okay, Tito. That. By the way, Tito was not late tonight. Tito was not late. And Richie Riche, the Charger story was awesome. And I could see that, because you had MCRD, which is the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, was over in San Diego. It was literally on the other side of the fence from NTC San Diego, because the Navy used to have 3 recruiting stations. Orlando was one, Great Lakes was one, and San Diego. So San Diego, Orlando, and of course, Great Mistakes up there in Chicago. And they got rid of San Diego. They got rid of Orlando. So they kept the cold one and the oldest one, So, and then the Marines they went all the way over. I don't think MCRD is still there. I might be mistaken on that, but I know Parris Island is still the main Marine Corps recruit depot. So that's the way that is. So hey, what a way to start the day. Richie Riche, get with me, and I'll get Kevin on with you as well. Again, a Bronco fan talking about the Broncos, because when he said this about McDaniels, and I said, this guy's a Broncos fan. This guy is a Broncos fan. I could feel it. It's an indicator. Can't forget the Jack Daniels eggnog. Huh? Jack Daniels eggnog? Is that at Walmart? Huh? I'll have to see that. Anyway, I'm going to put the link into the show. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Again, Kevin Bryant, Spies on the Sideline. And then I would say, or call. I got the link. 813-699-0834. So let me get this in there. There's only so much I can do at once. Okay. I'm trying. Okay. It is it the half? Yeah, it's halftime. Bucks 10, Ravens 3. And I thought the Ravens were going to. Oh, it's seasonal. Okay. Yeah. Jack Daniels eggnog. Wow. Maybe I'll try it if it's at Walmart, because I don't go to Walmart, but I'll try it. If Jack Daniels, it sounds intriguing. Maybe now if they add Grand Marnier eggnog, I'd be drinking the hell out of that. So there is the link. Come on into the show if you want to talk football tonight. You want to talk sports. Remember, the World Series is tomorrow. I still got my. That's why Mike Schmidt is still behind me, and Larry Boa, the jersey is still up. Why? Because the Phillies are still there. And as long as the Phillies are playing baseball, now granted, in about a week I'll be taking them down. But I got to keep the karma up. The Phillies are winning because I have the framed Larry Boa and Mike Schmidt behind. That's the reason why they're winning. That's the only reason, because it's all me. It's all me. Jeff, the last folk here about Bo Jackson. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that one out too. The last folk here. Okay, thanks, Tito. I'll look that one up, but I will definitely get with Kevin and so I can get that book. I said I'm buying two. I'm gonna buy 2 books. Hit me up. I have yet to see. I wasn't really watching the game, only just a little bit of it. So, Jeff Pearlman. Okay, Jeff Pearlman. Okay, thanks, Tito. So don't really watch. I just see the score. I saw where I think the one play I saw was Vita Vea just severely. He didn't throw Jackson down, but he just kind of did a very nice version of a Tony Serafazzo belly flop. He didn't even go all that weight on. So yeah, there it is. They just showed it, and he's doing the surfing on the ground in the at Ray J. But again, it's Thursday night. It is our night to talk sports. Hit me up. I got the what is it? I got the link there. So come on in. The phone line is up. Need Jackson to rack up some points. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's a fantasy football, and that's why I don't have time. I basically give advice for fantasy football. I don't have time to do it, and and one of the other reason why is because I don't like if I have somebody on my fantasy football team and they're playing the Raiders, right? And I have to hope that they have a good game, but the Raiders win. I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. So, hey, we're going to hear from Black Danos in a little bit. So let me get Black Danos in here. Okay. Don't go yet there, shipmate. I got the timer going to get going. Give me a mic check and we'll start it. How you doing there, brother? Give me a mic check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
You're good.
Oh, great. The countdown continues, my friend. Time is just flying. I think I read somewhere a long time ago, at some point in your adult life, you'll realize the years become like water, like trying to hold water in your hands, in the cup of your hands, and the way just slip through your fingers. I mean, it's even through Facebook memories. I see stuff that I posted a year ago. I said, was that a year ago? And here we are, Halloween days away. But of course, before that, we go back to New Orleans, which historically has been the site of one of the Raiders' greatest triumphs, becoming the first wild card team, to advance and win the Super Bowl. And it's been some time, I think, since we've been there, since 2016, which was favorable for us in very dramatic fashion. That gutsy, talented team on the upsurge, trending upward. But again, that was 6 long years ago, 3 presidents ago. And the only person left from that 2016 team is Derek Dallas Carr. Every single other player that contributed to that dynamic, exciting win is gone. But he's still here. And we shall see. I don't know if do you know who's officially supposed to start for the Saints in terms of quarterback?
Yes, officially, it's. Let me put the clock down. Wait. Oh, shoot! 1 second, Connor. Let me stop the clock because again, I want to give you all your full. Officially, Andy Dalton is going to be the starter per Dennis Allen. He did say that Jameis is not injured, so he is ready and available to go. But Andy Dalton will start officially per the coach. Now, I mean, if they're using, because we're talking intel, if he's using subterfuge, we'll find out. But normally when you name a starter, unless something really, what is it, exotic goes on, you're going to go with that. But, maybe Dennis Allen is doing that, to them. Now, I want to ask you one thing. And again, I have it on pause, so this is not taken out of your time. Yeah, Andy Dalton is the starter. They had an interview with Alvin Kamara, and somebody mentioned to Kamara that that the Dennis Allen used to be our head coach, which was so long ago. I mean, it was so long ago that
Yeah.
nobody even really remembers. And Kamara was like, "Oh yeah, that's right, he was, yeah." So we're gonna have to whoop that ass for coach. So coach goes and happy. So what are your thoughts on the fact that you got Kamara running his mouth off, and it obviously is bulletin board material. What are your thoughts on that, there, Sharif? Or excuse me,
Well,
Black Manos?
well, I think it's standard gamesmanship. Anything that will get your team a edge or get them riled up, you have to utilize. And he could be doing us a favor. But then again, hell, the Derek Carr is the only one who can really remember Dennis Allen, and it was only a few games they had together. But nonetheless, I think Dennis Allen would have an extra sense of motivation anyway. But I'm not mad at any player who is passionate and optimistic. We have to return the same fire within reason. Now, of course, that can backfire, like when you dance on the logo of the Chiefs field and then you get embarrassed before the world and get stomped out the building. But you know, overall, Kamara, he's never really been a outrageous type of person. So maybe it was just an off the cuff remark he wanted to throw out there and to incite the crowd or generate some excitement. Boxers do it, wrestlers do it. To put seats in the building. So I like it. This goes all the way back to Thomas Henderson, Super Bowl 13, trash talking, which I think is the original trash talker, Hollywood Henderson, saying he couldn't even spell cat if you gave him the C and the T and all of that stuff, and that classic game with all the Hall of Famers. So it's standard. And you got to remember, Ngakwe is throwing smoke our way, and we have the Colts coming up next. Or well, not next, but in a couple of weeks with his new team, because he made it known the Raider game is circled for him. He did not enjoy being shipped out in favor for older Chandler Jones. So, I don't take great offense to it. because maybe they feel Dennis Allen got some measure of redemption there. But I was glad, and my mates at the Silver and Black Empire, we actually had a quasi funeral for him, as we buried a action figure dressed like him in the dirt outside our bar on 40th Street when he got fired. I think that was right after the Miami game. He didn't
It
even touch American soil, and Mark Davis showed the balls to cut him loose.
Yeah,
So,
he went home on a separate flight. He didn't even go home with the team. He was fired right after the Miami game in London, and they just got embarrassed, and he was shit canned.
yeah, yes, and if you remember, he was so distant and nonchalant appearing in that game. I know it had to offend the hell out of Davis for him to bring down the hatchet in the way that he did, because we all saw and felt it, like he didn't even want to be there. And that's the head coach looking like that. That was terrible to see. But it worked out as far as Jack Del Rio. So you did answer my question about Andy Dalton, who is undefeated against the Raiders all time, 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
A steady veteran, whose career kind of parallels Carr to a great extent, except he's a bit over 500, and he's been to the playoffs 4 times, but he always lost. But he did get there in a tough division with the Steelers, with the Ravens, when both of those teams were very physical and dominant. So, we can't sleep on Andy Dalton. He's accomplished things in this league. And he spent a good 8 or 9 years with Cincinnati until they decided to do the intelligent thing. It's time to level up, which they did, got Joe Burrow AFC championship. You see the pattern? That seemed to be the formula. But maybe sooner or later we will pick up on that. But this game, and even Jameis Winston is dangerous to an extent, because he's one of those guys who can be hot or cold. And if you get a hot Jameis Winston with his skill set, being tough to tackle, having feet, and still having a very strong arm in his building, and a couple of calls here or there, he can beat you. So this will not be an easy game by no means. The good thing is there will be plenty of disposable alcohol for Raider Nation, no matter how the game may go. But I will be there. I'll be in section 115. I don't know where you may be. I guess I'm close to the 40-yard line, whatever it is, the Raider sideline. So you'll see me in all my spectacular glory, trying to root the team on and inspire us to victory as I touch down in the Crescent City Saturday night about 6:30, where you might be on the boat ride or engaged in some other frolic.
I haven't done any of the things that, I looked at what was available. The one thing that I know I'm going to be going to, and I haven't gotten tickets for it yet, is I'm going to go to Rilla's party after the game, which means that I might have to bring like my tablet with me, depending upon, because I'll have to do the show, or I might do a show after the game and then have it ready for taping. I might do that because if Rilla has the party later on that night, I might do the show live after the game and then put it on Roku for the 9 o'clock start, which I'm required to do. So I might do that because I don't want to miss out on that. That's the only thing I know I'm going to go to.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I'm not sure what the start time is. I'm guessing I will go in Black Thanos gear, to keep the theme going. And an important thing to remember for fans coming in from out of state, this game actually starts at 12. We're so used to, a 1 o'clock start in most places. This game will actually start at noon. So don't be caught, thinking you got another hour to the first quarter. No, you will miss out. So that's very important. But I haven't seen any tickets for sale either for the Rilla thing, but I will purchase if it comes across me while I'm out there, But lastly, the key to victory, again, ride number 28, the J train, have Black Moses lead us. The 11th commandment, thou shalt feed Jacob. And on that fast type of surface in that building, climate control, so weather won't be an issue, I can see Jacobs having another spectacular game. Though Dennis Allen is a defensive guy originally, mainly out of the secondary. And they will try to draw up some things to derail him, but he seems like a man on the mission. So Josh McDaniels, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because again, if Josh McDaniels can mess up a 6-0 season for the Broncos and turn that to 8-8, we just need him to follow the script, sip on some Gatorade, and leave the driving to Jacobs as if he was a Greyhound driver. I think that is the key.
All right. Well, the bell went off, but I obviously, I let people finish the thoughts. And so I don't say, shut up. You know, I'm not like that.
Of course not.
But yeah, when you get to Nolans, give me a shout. I get there tomorrow, and I will probably go to my hotel room, check into my room, start watching the Phillies game, and I'll probably be asleep I probably won't even see the end because I am so tired.
Wow.
This whole week, so no Friday night escapades for me unless I get any good offers.
Well, I won't get, of course, incentive, but I won't get there till Saturday night, about 6:30. So I'll finish packing tomorrow, but I'll be out there Saturday night. And of course, I will return Tuesday. So I will be there Halloween as well. I think Rilla will still be there and some others.
Yeah.
But that still give me plenty of time to indulge in the rest of the festivities with everyone else. And I'm basically very close to the quarter. So walking distance, basically. So, I'm hard to pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know who that guy is. I'll obviously I know that dude. I know that dude. Hey, Thanos, good to hear from you, partner. Thanks for popping in. Always a pleasure. We'll see you out this weekend in Knowledge. Are you gonna give a prediction, or are you gonna step out and do that, or are you gonna just keep it?
No, I've learned the hard way from giving my Super Bowl prediction of the year 2017 and making endless videos and how that year collapsed like a lawn chair under John Candy. So I just have a very trepidatious wait and see approach. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm prepared for anything because this team has been too bipolar for me to put any money or for me to unfairly influence anyone to wager any money and have that on my good conscience. So I just want to enjoy the thrill of discovery and offer my presence and the mythic abilities of Black Thanos and my long time good fortune to hopefully contribute to a victory.
Okay. Well, hopefully, like I said, keep the good juju, man.
But lastly, if we follow the formula, and I said a week ago, I said if Jacobs had at least 130 and 2 TDs, we would win. He did much better than that. I will say the benchmark, I would say give him 125 and maybe between 1 to 2 touchdowns. I feel very strongly. And I think Waller is supposed to return if he's really up to snuff. So that will give the Saints something else to worry about, which will open up lanes for Jacobs. So he will probably go north of 125. If he does that, I believe with 90% assured of victory outside of freak things like turnovers and special teams play.
There you go. There's my Raiderette for life. Good to see you there, sweetheart. Well, hey, BT, you know that Tay Adams hasn't practiced all week.
Well, yeah. What is it? He got the hamstring disease too?
No,
is he worried about that court date coming up?
No. Be nice. It's not that. Apparently, there's a bug that's going through the locker room.
Wow.
So, and it happens. It happens every year. There's always, that time where there's that sickness that goes through. But Tay, he didn't practice today. He did not practice yesterday. They're hoping that he can come out and play for the game.
I was totally unaware of that, Cat. I've been just so busy grinding and everything. That really swings the pendulum as far as how this game can go. Mm-hmm. Jacobs notwithstanding, because if they don't have to worry about Devontae, then all lies, they can basically put 8 in the box. Or, just going all the way and say, okay, when you try to beat us, we'll try to beat you. So, yeah, wow, that is a big factor. So, that's going to be very interesting. But we were lucky last year. We didn't lose any major A1 players to COVID like a lot of teams did last year.
Yeah.
We were really fortunate, throughout the entire season. We had a couple of people on the roster, but I mean, people that you couldn't afford to lose, we didn't lose.
Right. But no, I figured I'd let you know that because you didn't mention it, so I figured I would let you know. And again, Raiderette for life. Thank you for being here, honey. I love it. I love it when the Raiderettes are in here because they have it. Look at that beautiful gal right there. Definitely makes this old dude look a lot better. Okay,
Yeah.
definitely so. Hey, BT, you be good, brother. Good hearing from you, and we'll see you out there this weekend.
Okay, see you Saturday, bro.
You got it. All right, that was Black Thanos. Good to hear from him. Raiderette, like I said, I would love to have you come into the show sometime. You don't have to go on camera because you said you were camera shy. I get that. But it'd be nice to hear from you because, like I said, we had, I know that we had, was it Becky was in here? I know we had somebody in here. I know I had another, no, I'm sorry. It was, I'm brain farting again. My gal that has the from Facebook, Kelly Farley. There you go, Raiderette Kelly Farley. Raiderette Kelly Farley is in here. By the way, was it Kenyon Drake? It looks like Kenyon Drake scored. Yeah, on a pass. Yep, a swing pass out of the backfield. Kenyon Drake for the touchdown. So it is now 10-9 pending the extra point. Kenyon Drake scores for the Ravens. So it is now 10-9. And with the point, it's now tied up at 10. So again, Raiderette for life. Good to see you, honey. Hope to have you in here. PSA. Captain, when are you leaving for Nolans? Tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Oh, by the way, Hollywood, if you're still in here, I leave at like 5 o'clock. I get there at 5:30 because of the hour change. So if you are driving, let me know when you get there, and then maybe we can because I have no clue where I'm going. I think that you know where you're going, but we'll be there. We might be there. I'm tired. All this travel is just it's whooping my ass. I admit it. Hope to see Raider. I want to meet Raiderette for life. That is a beautiful lady, and it's always good to see. Kelly, are you going to be going to the Broncos games? I think that she is out there. In what is it? Colorado as well. Oh boy, I'm glad to see this. Yeah, Gabe, I will. Yeah, Kadarius Toney, I did see that. We'll talk about that as well. I want to bring in my next guest. Oh, for sure, Raider. You're always invited here. I want to salute because I didn't get a chance to, my new brother in arms. It's Raider Squid, just the brand new frocked. Are frocked, or are you getting paid?
No, frocked.
Okay, brand new frock, Chief Petty Officer, Raider Squid. That is your salute there, my shipmate in crime. First off, for those that don't know, like I said, when you make Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, it is a monumental event. And, so for Squid, I'm very happy to see that Squid made Chief. We've been talking about it for a couple years. And so my best to you. And so my salute to you. I'm not even going to start the clock for a little bit. Anything you want to say off the cuff that you can, or that you want to. Like I said, I'm not even starting the clock. You get like a free couple 30 to a 45. Anything you want to say about your events?
It's just, I'm glad to be back. As you know, it was definitely a grueling, humbling 6 weeks, to say the least. So can't talk too much, obviously, but yeah, humbling 6 weeks. It definitely put a lot of things in perspective, and even just these first few days of being the chief really kind of goes, oh fuck. It kind of makes.
By the way, we are on Roku.
Oh, hey, bound to happen.
There
Darn.
you go. Yeah, bound to happen.
Darn.
There you go.
Sorry.
No worries.
Like, you get why we do what we do. So much is thrown your way so quickly, and it's just learning to be calm. So extremely blessed. Glad to be back. We were out to sea for a little bit too, so we did the sea thing and finished our season out to sea. So now back on land and back on catching up with sports. I mean, had no idea what's been going on in the nation. Had a few people we were trying to watch games with, but just excited to be back.
There you go. Now, is this pre-deployment? Did you get like Tista and all that other stuff done, and you got the deployment coming up? And so when you're available for the indie game, that's like in between your quals and whatnot, right?
That's pretty much that's during my palm before deployment.
Okay.
Deployment. Okay. We'll talk offline, but yeah, deployment's right around the corner.
Okay. So, well, good. Good.
Yeah. So trying to talk to wifey, figure out if we're going to make the indie game or not. If we do, it might be a quick either Saturday or even drive up Sunday, go to the game, come back, just because schedule permitting is kind of tight for both of us. So,
right.
So still debating about making it, but got to talk to wifey though, because I mean, my number one thing is spending. As much as I love the nation, spending time with the wife is number one. There's no. I love what we do. I love Squid and everything, and interacting with Raider Nation. But I mean, I'm about to be gone for a few months, so if I'm not hanging out with my wife, I'm not
right.
going.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah. So that was your free time. I'm starting up Raider Squid again. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. And again, Raiderette for life, sweetheart. You are always welcome in here, honey. But we're going to turn it over to Squid. Squid, your thoughts? Yeah, catch us up to date. What are your big thoughts of what's going on with you and Raider Nation?
I'm honestly catching up, realizing I'm just a little disappointed in our schedule. We're 2-4, 2-5,
2-4.
Yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking. Coming so much expectation. I'm like, what I miss? What's gone wrong? I'm seeing Jacobs is getting his carries and he's producing. So trying to get caught up and seeing that. I'm like, damn, I hope he sticks around, especially if he keeps his pace up. I'm hearing all the trade rumor talks and it's just a lot going on. So I'm very, very curious. I'm at one game at a time. Going to New Orleans and beat New Orleans. Their record to me is like us. They're the same record, right? 2-4?
Or maybe they're 3-4. I know, or 2-5. They're close to us. I haven't really been paying attention. I know that they are better than what their record indicates, but a lot of the time, a lot of the losses that they've had is because Jameis has been out, and without that continuity at quarterback, it really kind of, it's debilitating. Hollywood says they're 2-4, so they got the same record as us.
And then seeing, if correct me if I'm wrong, we're number three offense. I'm like, how are we 2-4?
Well, like, I mean, yeah.
Like what? Our potent offense is coming to shine, and this is Waller's been out a game or two.
Yeah, he was at the very beginning of the Kansas City game, and then I saw him walk by me in the first quarter. So he was out that game. He was out the bye week. He was out last game, so he's been out like 2.5 weeks.
So we're missing 1/3 of our offense. It's just number 3. It's crazy to me. 2-4, but number 3 offense.
Yeah, well, that attests to the issues that we're having on defense.
Yeah. How is Jones been?
And again, stopping the clock for you. Jones has played what they want him to do. They want him to take up and feed off the blocks and shuttle things in, but he hasn't been doing a lot of the pass rushing that people are expecting. But you know what, people, you got to understand, if the coach tells you this is what I want you to do and you're doing it, then you're doing your job. Is he getting the push on the outside? Not as much. Max is just basically, being Max is like a defensive MVP candidate right now, and so is Roquan Smith. There's the segue. For maybe picking up Roquan Smith to bring a great linebacker in. He's going to want a lot of bank, and you can't pay everybody, and that might be one reason why that the Raiders haven't gone for him. But again, Chandler Jones is doing his job per se, but he just has not been that pass rushing threat. So now you're caught up.
So he's been more of a Robin to Max being Batman and kind of taking the.
For sure.
Okay. Like I said, I can only go off of what I see in stats, and obviously stats don't give you the full picture of what is, especially with Max. we know that his game a lot has been pressure and making quarterbacks feel uncomfortable. So, but that seems to be our worry is the defense. Has it changed from the offseason? We know it's going to be an issue, and it seems like that's continuing to go.
They're starting to gel. They're starting to get a bit better.
I mean, I saw a pick 6 on the highlight, and I was like, "Oh damn!" I don't remember the last time. Last time I saw one of those in silver and black.
Yeah, well, I think the last one was when I can't remember the kid's name that played safety. That really, I think it was Harris. I had a pick 6 against in Indy, that game that I was there. I think that was the last time we had one. So it's been a while.
I'll say definitely something I haven't seen in a while. But no, I'm excited. Starting to see Facebook and everybody going to New Orleans, being excited about that. Definitely going to tie down my plans and see if we can sneak away and make the Indy game. Probably tie that down the next few days. So I'll talk to boss lady. We can talk. But
yeah,
for me, it's more about the experience. Going to the game is great and all, but we know that as Raider Nation, half of it is the tailgate. And how hot is it in Vegas right now?
It wasn't bad last time. It was actually it was this past weekend. It was actually very cold and windy, so it wasn't horrible. It was actually I mean the weather had like a little bit like rain flurries and whatnot, but it was dark and it was windy and it was sandy. So it wasn't bad. So I mean, the next time, by the time we get out or you get out there, it's not going to be an oven. So it'll be nice weather.
Because that's definitely something I'm thinking about is how hot is it going to be with all the gear. But no, talk to wifey, try to tie that down. Definitely leaning towards going. I mean, might as well catch a game before I head out. So, no, just excited. Like I said, I'm really excited to be back, get caught up, and start hopping onto shows when I can.
Yeah, well, you know you're always welcome. If I said, depending upon your work schedule, if you got the Wi-Fi there, and you're allowed to go down in the mess and I don't know what your availability is, because again, this was stuff that they didn't have when I was.
That's a whole nother. The fact that there's Wi-Fi on board is crazy to me.
Yeah,
like what the hell? Don't get me wrong, it's amazing, but I'm so used to. I mean, I've only been in a few years and not having Wi-Fi. Like whatever, cool. You read books and you watched movies, and now you have Wi-Fi, which means you connect with your family better. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I can only say that I watched the Tuck Rule game deployed, and it was we watched the CBS feed, but it was an Arabic commentator talking over Gumbel and Sims. So it was unique in that respect, because again, you're watching the game, but you have like commentators talking over commentators.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that was what? How long ago was that? It was right after 9/11. So it was what 20 over 20 years ago, right?
Been a bit.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of brothers in the mess that are Raider fans, and they're excited. I didn't bring my mask for the season, but I'm bringing them for sure for deployment. So Squid will be on deployment with her on the line.
Good. Well, you can tell all the Raider Nation brothers that they need to check out their fellow brother out here as well.
Oh yeah, no, I'll definitely get them caught up. I put a few people on about lining up with different shows.
Good.
But to get you a few more subscribers. There's definitely a lot of them. So.
Yeah, well, I said that it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. But hey, the alarm went off, and again, I want to say congratulations on your anchor shipmate. Welcome home for that respite in between your time there. If you're heading out to the Vegas game, I don't know whether you got my email or my message or not, but you got a base capability there. That's on you is what I'll get with me, because I'm holding those for you first. And
we'll talk to wifey these next few days and get that tied down. But I think we're leaning towards saying fuck it, or excuse me, let's go. So
okay,
yep, we'll talk. All right, Cam.
All right, well, hey, good. Hey, great seeing you, partner. You take care, and again, welcome, shipmate, to the mess.
All right, Cap.
All right, take care. That was Raider Squid, and again, it's nice when you know your friends make chief. And Tito says, congrats, Raider Squid, salute. Tito said something about Brady's glove. I'm watching the game, but I'm not watching the game. I know that the Ravens have the ball right now, and they're looking pretty good on protection or what's going on there. But we're gonna go to a young man. Going to go to a young man who's going to talk a lot of good things. Oh yeah, thanks, Lydell. Mile High Raider Richard, thank you there. They said super sweet. I like this hat. But we're going to turn it over to somebody that is going to crow about their team, because it's been a long time that you could actually crow about your team.
Oh,
Gabe,
it
what's
feels
going on, brother?
so
How
good.
you doing?
Oh,
How you
Captain,
doing, man?
it feels so good. Winning is amazing. I mean, I was alive when we were winning like this, but I barely knew football when we were winning like this. So, whew, it is good to be a Giants fan right now. And yeah, we just obviously probably the most thing I know a lot about related to the Raiders is, of course, in your division. The Chiefs traded for Kadarius Toney today. Yeah, the Chiefs are gonna regret that one.
Yeah, I think so.
12 injuries, and no matter what he posts on Twitter about, oh, they were fake and whatever, that's such BS. I don't even want to hear it. They were not fake. Maybe this last one was, but the ones before it were not. I mean, he just has he's like a cancer in the locker room. Like, people said like OBJ was terrible. OBJ at least had a business side to him. Like, OBJ knew business. Kadarius Toney doesn't know what the definition of business is. I mean, his press, like, he's just awful. He's terrible. So I think the Chiefs are going to end up regretting this one. I mean, he can't stay on the field. So we're 6-1 without him. So why not continue being good without him anyway? So, I think they're going to regret it, because he just simply can't stay on the field. And when he does make a good play or have a good game, he just gets injured. So I think the Chiefs will regret it. I don't think he doesn't work hard. That's the other thing. He doesn't have any what was the word I'm looking
for? Work ethic?
He doesn't have any he doesn't care. Like, he just has that I don't care, I'm good, I'm so good. That's kind of his mindset, and that's how he is. So he's a stubborn he's different. Let's just say that he's different. But I definitely think, as Raiders fans, you should not fear him too much.
And again, let me stop the clock here, because you still got a little over or a little under 3 minutes, because whenever I do my interjections, I want to make sure you have your times there. Did he get touchdown to the Ravens? So now they are up 16-10. It was Robinson did Robinson catch it? I think Robinson caught the ball.
It was likely.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw Robinson go over there. I didn't see you, Klaus. So, but again, Ravens are now up 16-10, pending the extra point. I know that I should be rooting for the NFC here, because it's against an AFC team, but I live here, so I can't stand. I can't stand the fake Pirates. So I'm probably going to root for, the Ravens on this. Oh yeah, likely. There you go. But what was I babbling? Oh, Kadarius Toney. And Kadarius Toney, even when he was at Florida, he was all ability and all mouth. I mean, he was one of the better players on their team, but he was kind of like a newer version of Percy Harvin, I should say, except that Percy Harvin had a lot of problems with migraines. Toney just had a problem with being an a-hole. So he's all full of himself. He has all of the ability in the world, but he just does not. He just does not have a good work ethic. And like I said, I don't know what the Giants got for him. Was it like a third rounder?
So if you don't know, the Bears GM is from the Chiefs. He worked like as an executive for the Chiefs. So the Chiefs got a third round pick for him going to the Bears. And so they basically gave that third round pick to us. And everyone the Chiefs don't need that. Like, the Chiefs didn't that's not the Chiefs pick anyway. I was like, well, it was going to be the Chiefs pick, but they traded it to us. So technically they still trade us a third round pick for him.
Yeah,
And
so it's a Bears pick that the Chiefs had acquired, but now it's with the Giants.
yeah, and they gave us a 6th-round pick as well. They gave us
Okay.
a 6th-round pick as well. So I mean, it's definitely it also helps us out because he's earning a 1st-round salary, so that's a lot of cap.
Yes.
So it gives us some cap flexibility because the Giants are in a terrible cap situation right now to go out and get maybe a Jerry Jeudy. We don't know, but the reports coming out are that the Giants are looking into Jerry Jeudy as a possibility because if some of you don't know, Brian Dable was his offensive coordinator at Alabama. So definitely the Giants have finally found a head coach that has the right mentality. So I don't know. How's your guys' head coach doing?
How's our what?
Your new head coach doing? Or
I mean, the Raiders are 2-4, but they really should be 5-1. And I'm going to give us a loss, but we're not.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, and I'm not saying this to piss you off, but you got to go out to Seattle. And apparently you beat Seattle last year, but can you do it 2 years in a row?
Was that no? That's 2 years ago that we beat them. Wait, yes, 2 years ago we beat them. But I think we can. I mean, the Giants always they're finding ways to win, and I think as much as Seattle looks great right now, but really their defense is not good at all. Their offense is booming, but their defense is not good. It's not. They don't have any coverage. They have somewhat of a pass rush, but not a major pass rush. And what our offense doesn't have any star wide receivers whatsoever. We have a bunch of no names. Do you know who David Sills is, Captain?
No,
exactly. That's our wide receiver 1. So that should tell you enough. That should just tell you enough about the state of the New York Giants. But look, Saquon's carrying this team on his back, and that's just kind of how we're winning. And the defense is playing phenomenal. So glad you guys got Patrick Graham. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys took him off our backs because now we have Wink freaking Martindale. So good. So
yeah, and the Raiders were looking at him as well, but it ended up that he went with Dable, and that's a good thing for the Giants. But the Raiders had looked at Wink as a possible person to bring in, and I did want Wink Martindale, but I think that Graham is going to pan out as being a good coordinator. Just it's going to take the Raiders a couple years to get all of the people in place in order to do it.
How's Martinez doing?
He played well? He played well last game. We picked him up, and him and Perryman were just tackling everybody that had the football. So I mean, he came back from his injury.
Yep.
So him and Perryman together formed a very dynamic duo of run stuffing linebackers. Obviously, not the greatest in pass coverage, but they were doing what they were supposed to do as far as tackling the ball, and they were really good at it.
Yeah, I mean, Martinez played. I think what ended up happening with the Giants and Martinez is that Martinez is better in. So same with James Bradbury is that the defense that Wink Martindale's runs is a blitz aggressive defense with man coverage. So you have to have quarterbacks that can play tight man coverage and linebackers that can play coverage too. And I think Blake Martinez is better. And same with James Bradbury. Everyone's like, oh, the Giants should have never cut James Bradbury. First of all, we were in cap hell, so we had to. Second of all, is James Bradbury, and this goes for Martinez as well, are both better at playing in a zone defense, which is what Patrick Graham runs and is what the Eagles run. So Patrick Graham's defense is success. He just needs to have people. He needs to be able to draft people. He needs to have people he can work with. He needs to have his people. That's what I mean. He has to have his personnel that he likes. I think the Raiders are getting him personnel he likes. I think they still need to get him more though this upcoming draft. But I definitely he can definitely run a successful defense if you give him the pieces. So
I think it's going to take a little bit for them to do it. The bell rang, so out the door. I'm going to give no out the door because you got the Seahawks. A confident victory over the Seahawks this year, this week?
I'm not taking them lightly, but I I mean, what we've done so far this year, I think we can easily beat them. So hopefully, but I'll definitely. That doesn't mean once the fourth quarter comes, I will be biting my nails off. So
Right. I got because, but I like the fact you said that confidently should, all that, yeah, we got this, but you might, like I said, your one nail might look like that.
I don't know. I said the Giants were going to lose against Tennessee, and then they won. And so ever since then, I never say the Giants are going to lose again because you just never know. It's kind of how I roll now.
Okay. Well, Gabe, you're always welcome. And so now you're thinking the Giants win the East, right?
Don't know if we win the East, but I know we will make the playoffs. That's what I do know.
Okay. So I got you down for a playoff berth guaranteed.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Now I'm gonna get you out with a baseball question. Who wins the series and in how many games?
I think the Astros are gonna win it. As much as I know you're a Phillies fan, Captain.
No, I mean I asked the question. I asked you to give me your shot. Call your shot.
As much as it would be a great story for the Phillies to win, I just think the Astros have more talent all around. I think I don't know. I have a feeling that they're gonna win, unfortunately. And they beat my Yankees. So let's just I would love for them not to win, but they just demolished the Yankees. So and I'm not happy that we're keeping Boone, in case anyone wanted to know. I hate that guy.
You're keeping who?
Boone, the manager.
They said they're gonna keep. Why? I don't understand that.
It makes no sense. I'm like, how do you not win a World Series with Stanton, Rizzo, and Judge, and you are gonna legitimately say you're gonna retain him to be here next year? He's not gonna. He doesn't win. He gets so far and then he breaks everyone's heart. You know what? I know my time's up, so I could go on a whole 10-minute rant about the Yankees organization right now, but we'll save that for another day.
Exactly, another time. Hey, Gabe, thanks for coming in, partner. How's school? I gotta ask.
School is going good. We have like a virtual day thing tomorrow, so I don't have to wake up super early, which I'm really happy about. So,
okay, well then we'll get some rest anyway.
Yep.
And like I said, if you start screwing up in school, I'm not going to allow you in the show.
All A's, Captain. All A's.
All right, that's what I want to hear. All right, partner, you take care. Keep watching and get other folks in here. I always like talking to all sports fans of all ages.
Of course, I will definitely let some people know. Thanks, Captain.
All right, take care there, Gabe. Good hearing from you. All right, that's I said Raider Gabe. I'm sorry, Gabe. It's Raider this, Raider that. It's Gabe of the New York Giants. So good to see that. I know Anthony, I'm going to put the link up again. I know that you wanted to call in. Anthony, please. Yeah, okay. And I think it's maybe it's Anthony. We'll figure out in a minute. Okay, I got a phone caller. Who is this? Is this Anthony? Anthony Prevencio. Okay, I will put your number in my phone because it didn't show up, but I knew you said you were going to call in. Anthony, I know it's going to be hard, but we're on Roku. Good. I like to hear that. And I haven't even started the clock yet. So what's going on, partner? Give me your best and good hearing from you. It's cool. It's cool. I mean, but you know what? I mean, it's not the end all beat all, but it's pretty cool when your phone blows up. Hey, and Anthony, talk louder, partner. Talk louder because they're saying that they can't hear you. I can. Mhm. Uh-huh. Right, right.
In two plays, Waller has 2 touchdowns against the Chargers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we win that game. Like,
Okay. And I think
I trust Waller. And another thing, sorry, I'm cutting you off, Captain. Sorry,
No,
Captain. I'm just
no, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
And like, I'm sick of people saying like, "Oh, I can't believe he went to the Las Vegas Aces basketball game and he's taking a picture with his girlfriend." It's like, bro, Mark Davis was there. Mark Davis knows, like, I don't care about the injury. Like, everyone says, oh, he's fuck.
Go ahead.
Like, the injury, like, thing, man, like, yeah, he doesn't take pills. He doesn't want a needle in him. He doesn't take needles or pills. I respect that, bro.
That's right.
Like, I respect that, bro. He doesn't want to take a needle, and he doesn't want to take no pills. And I respect that, dude. And F that bull that about people trying to say, oh, he's not committed because he's out here with his girlfriend and he's out here at a game and he's out here doing this, bro. Like, that makes me angry, bro. Like, that makes me so mad. Like, and it's frustrating, like, to me. And I got Waller's back, and I want to tell all these Waller haters, like, bro, you ain't a fucking GM. You ain't the owner. You ain't gonna trade Waller for nothing. Like, you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're dumb. Like, oh, we can trade Waller for not. I feel like saying shut the F up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I mean, and by the way, they can hear you now.
Waller's back, and that's all about Darren Waller.
Yeah.
And the defense needs to step up.
Right.
With the F. Defense with the F.
Right.
Come on, defense with the F. But yeah, I got Darren Waller's back, bro. And F all these sheep.
I got
F'ers.
You got it.
I want to start trying to talk about trade rumors with Darren Waller. Like, what the? Like.
Now let me ask you a question, because Tito is already there saying that we need to trade Waller. Obviously, you say we need to keep Waller. Okay. So having said that, who is more important to this offense? Okay. Is it Darren Waller or is it Devontae Adams?
Now, the reason why Devontae Adams got me insanely excited is because we already have the Darren Waller.
Mm-hmm.
We need both of them.
But see, that's the question though. If you had to keep just one, I know people saying both. No. I'm not making it easy for you. I'm saying you're only allowed to keep one. You got to keep Darren Waller or you got to keep Tay Adams. Who are you keeping, Anthony? Because that's the question.
And I'm going to make you mad, and I'm going to frustrate you. and I'm going to completely sidestep your question and say that no, I'm not going to sidestep it. I'm going to answer it, but
Okay.
I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it in a way that you don't like.
Okay.
Is, like, Devontae doesn't come here. Devontae comes here. Devontae's a man. He makes no decisions, but I just feel like with Waller on his game
Mm-hmm.
and Devontae on his game, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, we got him. Like, and then Renfro's been struggling a little bit. We were learning the Chinese offense. We're learning a fucking completely, this ain't West Coast. This is China. This is Mandarin offense.
Right.
Like, people need to shut the F up.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going to choose between Devontae and Wallace.
But no. But see, that's the question, because it is a hard question, because people got to realize that the Raiders are quite lucky that they have a tight end of Waller's caliber and character. Yep.
He's special.
Yeah, I know he's special, but let's say that let's say that Darren Waller is out for the season, okay? Or let's say that Tay Adams is out for the season. Which one are you going to have hurt you more? That's why you said you can't. If you are the coach, and the GM says to me, "Hey, we can't keep both of them because of the contracts. You can't keep both of them. Which
we
one?"
got them both.
I know, Anthony.
We
I got you, but I'm not. I'm asking you now. I'm asking you now. If you are only allowed to keep one, who are you keeping? Because who is more important to this offense in the future?
And I'm going to say, F that question.
You're avoiding it. You're avoiding it.
And I believe we're going to keep both of them.
I know we are, but see, that's not the point, Anthony. That's why I'm asking you a hard question.
Let me tell you something. I believe that Waller missing camp, Waller dealing with that injury late in the year, Waller dealing with his contract situation, it kind of messed with the chemistry a little bit. And then, of course, Devontae comes over. That's the OG. Like that, he's new, but he's the new OG. Okay, Renfro was the fucking guy when Waller got hurt. So we have three guys. We got three guys that are like I'm the guy. Like, we know Devontae is the guy, but like the other two are like, I'm the guy. Like, there's a little bit of and it's a brand new offense, and we saw how Carr was aggressive as fuck. I'm sorry, my bad. But I love how Carr played week one. He was throwing the ball, but if he was a little more accurate, we destroyed the Chargers week one.
Yeah, but the thing is that Waller has dropped 2 touchdowns this year. Adams has not dropped any.
And I'm a big Carr supporter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone knows this. Those drops were hard catches, man. And now everyone wants to say, "Oh, Waller dropped that touchdown pass that turned into an interception." Bro, you run that route, dude. You run that fucking route and get blown up like that by 2 players and try to say, "It's not my fault." Fuck. F you.
Yeah.
Waller is a good player. But that's like, come on, man. Like, he got blown up. Like, yeah, it sucks. Everybody was pissed. It turned into an interception. And it was like, like kicking the nuts. But it's like, was he open Acuna, is that a tough catch? Should he have caught it? Yes.
Yes.
Should he have caught it?
Yes.
But I'm not gonna like jump ship. I'm not gonna flip on.
No, I'm not. Anthony, I never said for you to jump ship, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this though. Those are catches that he should have made. And I'm also gonna say this, Anthony. The next time you call in, I'm gonna ask you the same question, and I'm gonna tell you because I love hearing from you. You're trying. You're trying not to drop the bombs. Try a little harder. You're almost there because you caught yourself a couple different times. But the next time you call in, I'm going to give you the same question. I'm going to give you the same question. So you got to decide if you can only keep one. If you can only keep one receiver, is it going to be Darren Waller?
We're going to keep both.
No, Anthony.
Both of them are going to retire Raiders.
That's not the question I'm giving you. I said if you only have to have one, because you can't have both. No, Anthony. I'm telling you, you gotta give me an answer the next time you call in, brother. And I enjoy hearing from you. I enjoy hearing from you. Anthony, you take care, and thanks for being in here. It's always a pleasure having you in the comments, man.
Shout out Josh Jacobs, the GOAT.
There you go.
Jacobs.
You got it. Hey,
shout out.
Hey, Anthony.
All right, later.
Good.
Man, thanks for giving me airtime. I'll catch you later, man.
You got it, brother. You take care. Good hearing from you. That's Anthony Provencio. Good to hear from him. I got to put his number in my phone. No, Tito. No, but the question is, is it Waller or Adams? I'm going to ask Anthony that. In fact, let me put this number in. By the way, the Ravens just scored. The Ravens just scored. I'm going to hopefully get Anthony's number in my phone. Okay, there it is. It was it didn't show up. Okay, Anthony, do me a favor. I didn't get this. It was 951. It was Anthony. If you're still watching, okay, text me. Anthony, text me your number to the same number that you called. Text it because it didn't show up. I want to get your number in here in my phone so when you show up next time, I will have it. Text me your number to 813-699-0834. Okay. All right, folks, we are at 1 hour, 48 minutes. We got about 5 to go. Got 5 to go because I got to do my outro. I will say this. If you have not watched, actually, all of the shows last night were wonderful. And it's not just me saying it because they were fun. Up. Can't hear anything. Okay. Nobody can hear. Uh-oh. Hang on. Audio. Check one. Test. Okay, Tito can. Okay, Anthony can. Okay, Anthony. Oh, it's just Anthony. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Anthony, text your number to 813-699-0834. Okay, read that. Okay. There you go. Right here. Anthony, text your number to 813-699-0834. There you go. Anyway, there's still a little bit of time left. I'm gonna put the link in again. Call in. Most consecutive starts without a 3-game losing streak. Wow. it would be nice if they being the fake Pirates lost 3 games in a row. I'd like to see that. And right now, what are they up? They're 24-14. I think it's 24-14. 24-14. So that's cool. I know I'm supposed to be rooting. I know I'm supposed to be rooting for a fake Pirate victory because it's the NFC beating the AFC. I get it, but I live here. Hopefully y'all can hear me, right? Because there shouldn't be a problem with the microphone. So we got that going on. In fact, let me go here. Real tech. Okay, so so maybe you can hear me. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Need Jackson to score. Okay, Cool Kev has Jackson as his fantasy quarterback. 6 minutes and 55 seconds left in the game. Oh, pardon me. Woo! Gotta fast for and far. Go too fast for. Whoa! A triple sneeze. That's rare for me. Normally I do doubles. Okay, Brady, who is that person that curse word. That curse word. Couple straight passes. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. Remember. Buccaneers down by 11. Yeah. The fake Pirates are losing. I love it. We were at 152, so basically, yeah, this show's over. I hate saying it. I will say this again. If you missed yesterday's shows, thank you, Tito, for the blessings. If you missed yesterday's show, Wild Wild West was hilarious. I was dropping some, double entendres. So pretty much anytime anybody said anything, it was a fun show. And then, of course, everybody else got into the act. So it wasn't just me. We all had a great time. Make sure you're watching Wild Wild West. Go back and watch it. Then we had NFL Nation Live. And again, NFL Nation Live on this channel. Wednesdays, 7:30 is Wild Wild West. 9 o'clock, NFL Nation Live. Then last night, if you haven't seen it yet, that's pass interference. That's pass interference, yes. Daryl Hobbs was on last night. No, Tito, it's pass interference. He turned around, but then he grabbed the face mask. That's pass interference. And I hate the fake Pirates, but that's blatant pass interference. I don't know what Harbaugh's looking at. He's like, what do you mean? That's pass interference. Sorry. But, the fake Pirates got to get 2 touchdowns, and I don't see it happening. What did everyone get sick from? Matthew Lincoln, I don't know. Apparently, there was a flu bug that was rolling through the Raiders locker room. Tay Adams got it. And a couple other. If you look at the injury report for the Raiders the last couple of days, you'll see where it says illness. And TB12 is just looking horrible tonight. I know it was underthrown, but that's the way it is. You can't interfere with the receiver. And for comments wise, like I said, go back and watch Wild Wild West last night. Go back and watch NFL Nation Live. Go back and watch the Daryl Hobbs interview. Former Raider was talking about the the American Spring Football League, ASFL. Daryl Hobbs has a team in Houston that is going to have silver and black as their colors. Silver and black is their colors. Let's just say that. Going to be really, really awesome. Going to be really, really awesome. Go back and watch that interview. And even the show the other night with the Silver and Black Ladies Night with the gals. That was a great show too. So please get caught up. Thank you for being here. We need to beat the out of the Saints. Matthew, the same thing. And that was Kamara that was talking shit. Tito, I will look for the book on Bo. I will. I'll take a look for it. Make sure that everybody, if you haven't done so already, Kevin Bryant, Spies on the Sideline. Spies on the Sideline. Go to spiesonthesideline.com. Get the book, and do that, and get. It seems like a really, really good book. Definitely. Okay, so there's the one touchdown. There's a flag though. There's a flag. Let's see. It's probably holding. Whether it's holding, yep, it's offensive holding. So. Still third down. Smith, I think he's one of their tackles. Yeah, he was hold. Okay, that's close to the show. Thanks for being here. Oh, that's blatant holding. Yeah, that's blatant holding. Oh, come on, man. Blatant holding. Yeah, there's nothing there. No, I mean, but that was blatantly holding. Okay, folks, we will have a show Sunday. I remember it'll probably be after the game. Thanks Tito. Thanks Cool Kev for talking the positives of the show. We will have a show after the game Sunday. I will rebroadcast it at 9 for my what I have to do is I have to have a 9:00 show. It's 4th and goal right now. 4 minutes 57 seconds left. I gotta pop out. Thanks again for watching. We'll see everybody for the next show. It'll be Ask Captain Jack show on Sunday night. We'll see everybody. Take care. And let's get that win, baby. One more, and then another, then another, then another. We'll see.